Welcome to the world of exploration. Welcome to the world of learning. Let's start exploring. Let's start learning. This is your very own educator, teacher, friend, philosopher, guide, mentor, preacher, one and all. And this is the one-stop destination wherein we come together in order to learn and in order to grow. All right, so with this, I had discussed about how the scene should be enacted, should be acted very carefully, and how we are supposed to assume that, personalities, change bodies. And after the spell has been spoken, both women, they start grasping hands and they go lax as if the life were out of them. They both come to life, but with the personality of the other. So there's the there's this exchange of souls that takes place, right? So each must try to adopt the voice and mannerisms of the other. So each of them should try to adopt the mannerisms and the tone of the other. So now Mrs. Pearson is bold and dominating, and Mrs. Fitzgerald is nervous and fluttering. So we get to see that how the two personalities are in total contrast with each other, right? So Mrs. Fitzgerald is very bold, authoritative, right? At the same time, and she is dominating too. But Pearson when it so Mrs. Pearson is now bold. So the qualities of Mrs. Fitzgerald come to Mrs. Pearson because there has been this exchange of soul, right? So now Mrs. Pearson is bold instead of being timid. She's dominating, authoritative, right? And Mrs. Fitzgerald is nervous and fluttering, right? So Mrs. Pearson now with Mrs. Fitzgerald's personality, see what I mean, dear. She notices the secret. Here, you don't want all that. She snatches it and puts it in her own mouth, laughing content, contentedly, right? So she's continuously puffing that secret. So Mrs. Fitzgerald now, with Mrs. Pearson's personality, looks down at herself and sees that her body has changed and gives a scream of fright. Now she's, sort of frightened because she's seeing this change for the very first time. She's witnessing this thing for the very first time in her life. She has never ever done any sort of soul change or soul exchange with any other person, right? It's just because Mrs. Fitzgerald was a fortune teller, and she could predict the fortune. That how it depends on one individual in order to how one individual acts as an architect or as a person who can write or carve one's own destiny or one's own niche, right? Now, coming on to Mrs. Fitzgerald, with Mrs. Pearson's personality, oh, it's happened, Mrs. Pearson, complacently, of course it's happened. Very neat. Didn't know I had it in me. Mrs. Fitzgerald, alarmed, but whatever shall I do? Mrs. Fitzgerald, but whatever shall I do? Mrs. Fitzgerald, George and children can't see me like this. Mrs. Pearson, grimly, they aren't going to. That's the point. They'll have me to deal with, only they won't know it. Mrs. Fitzgerald, still alarmed, but what if we can't change back? So she's now, feeling threatened that by the suggestion that and by the experience that she had, that what if they aren't able to change back, and what if she's she permanently stays in her body, her soul permanently stays in her body, right? So if it would be terrible. So Mrs. Pearson says, here, steady, Mrs. Pearson, if you had to live my life, it wouldn't be so bad. You you would have more fun as me than you've had as you. So now she's suggesting actually that in reality, see, Mrs. Pearson, you would actually enjoy living my life because my life is very, um, I'm very modern and my life is filled with fun, and you will definitely enjoy my life. But your life is monotonous and very, very boring. So I'll have to figure it out, right? So, Mrs. Pearson, here, steady. Mrs. Pearson, if you had to live my life, it wouldn't be so bad. You've had more fun as me than as you had as you. Then Mrs. Fitzgerald says, yes, but I don't want to be anybody else. So now Mrs. basically Fitzgerald, it's not Fitzgerald, it's Pearson saying that, but I don't want to be anybody else. Why should I be anyone else? I have my own identity. So that's what she's over here suggesting, right? Uh then Mrs. Pearson says, that is Fitzgerald, in reality. Now, stop worrying. It's easier changing back. I can do it anytime we want. So now she's, again and again, suggesting the same thing. She's repeating this thing again and again. Uh, so this repetition is there that I can do it anytime whenever we feel like changing back, exchanging our souls back and coming back into our bodies or personalities, right? Then Mrs. Fitzgerald says, well, do you do it now? Mrs. Pearson, not likely. I've got to deal with your family first. That's the idea, isn't it? Didn't know how to begin with them. You said, well, I'll show you. Mrs. Fitzgerald, but what am I going to do? Mrs. Pearson, go into my house for a bit. There's nobody there. Then pop back and see how we are doing. You ought to enjoy it. Better get off now before one of them comes. So she's ordering now that, you just need to see, you just need to be a spectator and you just need to enjoy. This is going to be kind of a show. So you just need to enjoy this how I'm going to set things right for you. So Mrs. Fitzgerald, nervously rising, yes, I suppose that's best. You're sure it'll be all right? Mrs. Pearson, chuckling. It'll be wonderful. Now, off you go, dear. Mrs. Fitzgerald crosses and hurries out through the door right. Left to herself, Mrs. Pearson smokes away, lighting another cigarette, and begins laying out the cards for patients on the table. So basically, it's again there's a disclaimer that to not go in for smoking or drinking. These are bad habits. Do not indulge in these habits or all these negative things. Um, right? From this is a disclaimer from my end, Sukriti ma'am's end, right? So after a few moments, Doris Pearson comes bursting in left. She's a pretty girl in her early 20s, so we get to see that Doris is in her early 20s. Who would be pleasant enough if she had not been spoiled. So she also could have been a pleasant girl, but because of the pampering, because of so much of love that was showered by Mrs. Pearson and on her daughter Doris. Um, as a result, as a consequence of that, she became a spoiled kid, a spoiled child, or a spoiled um, young girl, right? So, Doris, before she has taken anything in, Mom, you'll have to iron my yellow silk. I must wear it tonight. She now sees what is happening and is astounded. What are you doing? She notices down left center. Mrs. Pearson now uses her ordinary voice, but her manner is not fluttering and apologetic, but cool and incisive. So the manner in which she is speaking is very, very cool and is incisive, right? But on the other hand, she's speaking in a polite, in a soft tone, in an ordinary voice. She's not having that authoritative voice, but at the same point of time, she's not nervous. She's not anxious. She's not fluttering. Her fingers are not fluttering, right? Mrs. Pearson, not even looking up. What do you think I'm doing? Whitewashing the ceiling? Doris, still astounded. So she's thinking, what has happened to mom? What has happened to my mom? Right? Doris, still astounded. But you're smoking. Mrs. Pearson, that's right, dear. No law against it, is there? So now she says that there's no law against it. Is there any law that I can't smoke? Doris, but I thought you didn't smoke. So the daughter is astonished. She's astounded by the fact that her mother is smoking because she has never ever seen her smoking, right? Because in reality, Mrs. Pearson never used to smoke. Um, so Mrs. Pearson says that, I mean, Mrs. Fitzgerald, in the form of Mrs. Pearson, then you thought wrong. Doris, are we having tea in the kitchen? Mrs. Pearson says, have it where you like, dear, in a sarcastic way, right? So Doris says angrily, do you mean it isn't ready? Mrs. Pearson says, yours isn't. I've had all I want. Might go out later and get a square meal at the Clarendon, right? So she's saying that, so basically the mother is over here. I mean, not the mother, but Mrs. Pearson, who is not the real mother, is setting her right, is setting her straight that yours is not ready. I have had mine, right? Might go out later and get a square meal. You can just go out and you can get a square meal for yourself at Clarendon. Doris says, hardly believing her ears. So she cannot believe what she's seeing, what she's observing, what she's listening to. She thinks that, is she all right? Is Mrs. Pearson okay? Or is she okay? Is she seeing or listening to the things that are happening, or is she just imagining? So she starts pondering over the fact that is uh, is she dreaming? Is she daydreaming? So she says, Doris says, who might? Mrs. Pearson, I might. Who do you think? Then Doris, staring at her, Mum, what's the matter with you? Mrs. Pearson says, don't be silly. Doris says indignantly, it's not me that's being silly, and I must say, it's a bit much when I've been working uh, hard all day and you can't even bother to get my tea ready. Did you hear what I said about my yellow silk? So now this is the way Doris is speaking. It's not me that's being silly. And I must say, it's a bit much when I have been working hard all day. That's what she's saying it to her mother, right? And you can't even bother to get my tea ready. So it's like she's ordering, she's not even asking her mother. She's not even, you know, bother to ask her mother or request her mother that mom or Mom, can you please give me tea? I'm very tired. I'm feeling very tired. I have worked very hard throughout the day, and therefore I need a cup of tea. Can I have that? She's not requested. Instead, what is she doing? She's ordering her mother that I've been working hard all day, and you can't even bother to get my tea ready. Did you hear what I said about my yellow silk? And she's even talking about her yellow silk. The way she's the tone, if you see the tone, it's kind of very, very insensitive in nature, right? So Mrs. Pearson says, no, don't you like it now? I never did. Doris, of course I like it, and I'm going to wear it tonight, so I want it ironed. See, how is she behaving, right? How Doris is behaving. Mrs. Pearson wanted ironed. What do you do? What do you think it's going to do? Iron itself? Doris, no, you're going to iron it for me. You always do. So now see how we start taking things for granted and how we stop being grateful. We stop having the attitude of gratitude. Rather, we develop the attitude of negligence, and develop the attitude of we develop a negative attitude, or attitude wherein we don't even um feel like thanking the other person. Instead, we feel that it's our right and it's the duty of the other person, uh and it's the um basically it's the uh ritual that the other person is supposed to perform, right? It's a kind of a norm that is meant by it's a kind of a norm that is created by a society and is meant to be performed by the mother, right? So Doris sulkily, uh where was I? So yeah, Mrs. Pearson says, well, this time I don't, and don't talk rubbish to me about working hard. I have a good idea how much you do. Doris Pearson, I put in twice the hours you do and get no wages nor thanks for it. Why are you going to wear your yellow silk? Where are you going? See, now she's basically pointing out that I am the one who is doing all the work. I'm the one who is working 24 by 7. I'm the one who is not even getting even a small break in between, and not even getting Saturdays or Sundays off. I'm the one who is toiling hard. I'm the one who's putting in twice the hours you know you do. I put in twice the hours that you do, and still I'm not getting any sort of wage, any sort of money for it, nor any recognition or thanks or gratitude for it. So Doris over here is in a sulking manner says, out with Charlie Spence. Now, Mrs. Pearson asks, why? Doris wildly says, why? Why? What's the matter with you? Why shouldn't I go with Charlie Spence if he asks me and I want to? Any objections? Go on, you might as well tell me. So Mrs. Pearson says in a severely manner, can't you find anybody better? I wouldn't be seen dead with Charlie Spence, buck teeth and half-witted. So herein she is basically mocking that how can she even go out with Charlie Spence, who is having buck teeth. So his physical appearance has been given. Apart from that, we have been shown that he's half-witted. That means he's not intelligent even. He's not handsome. He's not intelligent. So he doesn't have any sort of quality or trait that you should be interested in, right? Doris says, he isn't, Mrs. Pearson. When I was of your age, I'd have found somebody better than Charlie Spence or given myself up as a bad job. Doris, nearly in tears. Oh, shut up. Now, that's how she's treating her mother. Doris runs out left. Mrs. Pearson chuckles and begins putting the cards together. After a moment, Cyril Pearson enters left. He is the masculine counterpart of Doris. So basically, Doris and Cyril, they're brother and sister. So Doris is the daughter, is the sister, and Cyril is the son and the brother, right? So from page number 7, we will be continuing in my further series. So for now, this is it from my side. Till then, let's all keep learning. Till then, let's all keep growing. Namaste, Jai Shri Krishna, Radhe Radhe.